This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I can't defend the coaching, bro. As much as I like Mario, and I think he will turn things around, but my man, wow, this season, there is nothing to defend. It is really, really embarrassing.
No, but you talk to people out in Oregon, and they'll tell you fabulous recruiter, but when it comes to X's and O's,
yeah,
little bit subpar.
Yeah. I mean, your boy Herbert did things in the Chargers that you're like, well, why didn't they ever do that over there at Oregon? They always had him running, and it was one of those things. I'm with you there, and they got a spread quarterback now. That's what I was talking about. People are ripping into TVD. And I'm like, it's not on him, dude. Lashley just put up 70 points on Saturday with SMU. You know, it's you got a spread quarterback, and all of a sudden now you want to make him a traditional drop back quarterback, and that's not his game. You should have kept elements of what made him good until you can get your own players in there to run your own system.
Yeah, he didn't forget how to play. And by the way, Herbert is not my boy, just like Andrew Van Ginkel isn't my boy, because even though
he's my boy.
I don't have any boys. I have players I like. I have players I don't like. Well, not really. I'm not a hater, but there's nobody who's like quote unquote my boy. Just for the record,
you're definitely not a hater. That's for sure. You've never been that.
I don't hate anybody.
Even with Tua, you were like, I need to see. I'm just not a believer yet.
And I told you before the season with this offense, he's going to produce. And he's producing.
Yeah, but you didn't really expect it to be this sweet, right?
Not from a Tua perspective. I didn't expect. First of all, I didn't know. I knew Tyreek Hill was good. He's much better than I ever imagined. I mean, the guy's been open the entire season, and I had high hopes for Mike McDaniel as a play designer, as an offensive schemer. Mm-hmm. He's also surpassed my expectations.
But Tua is seamless. I mean, it's beautiful to watch it. There's a rhythm to all of that.
It's so
fluidity.
It's so quarterback friendly, bro. I mean, let's be honest. He's playing great, and his numbers are off the charts. But look, let's accept it and understand it that the scheme is phenomenal. The wide receiver. Look at the game yesterday, and I challenge you to show me one really difficult throw that Tua had to make. Mind you, now he's making the throws that are there, but I mean, it's
the touchdown. The touchdown was an incredibly difficult throw. I went through 3 different windows.
Did you go through any windows? And you're talking about to Waddle, where he just cut back in front of the defenders, where he's wide open.
When he came back, and that was a timing throw on that one, because there were DBs coming from both sides that he had to make sure he weaved it in there before those guys came in. Okay. Listen, the other day, I told you about a throw he threw between 4 guys, and you weren't impressed anyways. And there's Kurt Warner the next time going, that's one hell of a throw. That was in a second window that he did that. So, you know, it's all right.
It's okay. I don't say it.
You're not impressed.
Dude, I'm impressed by him getting the ball when to the receivers when they're open. I'm impressed and continue to be astounded by how consistently wide open those receivers are. I mean, holy smokes. They're like, It's like, okay, you need 3rd and 12, no problem. Tyreek just run me like a 15-yard out, and there's nobody within 3 yards of him. So, like I said, there's no disputing the numbers are outrageous. He's making pretty much most of the throws that he needs to make. But
which is not easy.
You what?
I think
quarterback friendly. It's very quarterback friendly.
I think the great ones make it look easier than what it is, because you put Teddy in the same offense, and there's no way he can make. You thought there wouldn't be. You remember when you said, "Oh, they're not going to miss a beat." Which was a whole load of horse shit that you loaded on us. Oh, they won't miss a beat. Fuck yeah, they're going to miss a beat. Teddy Bridgewater in his dreams couldn't be half the quarterback that Tua is. He can't deliver like Tua does and read and react like Tua does. And so you must admit you were wrong when you said they weren't going to miss much with Teddy. Say it.
May I respond?
Yes, go
I'm
ahead.
going to respond with facts, okay? Number one, Teddy played against the Jets. He played, first of all, no, I'm sorry. He came into the game against Cincinnati with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter, okay? And then he played the rest of the second half. Do you know how many yards he threw for that game? 193. Extrapolate that over a game, that's over 300 yards. Okay, that's number one. Number two, against the Jets, that can't count. He played one play before he got pulled out of the game. Then he came in, excuse me, then he came in against Minnesota. I don't remember when it was, like first half, late first quarter, or maybe second quarter. Okay, after not taking any practice reps during the week, number one, and without Teron Armstead, number two, and the Dolphin offense still racked up a lot of yards and might have won that game. I had Jalen Waddle not fumbled in the fourth quarter. Okay, so what I had said was, hold on. What I had said was, you cannot make the comparison until Teddy Bridgewater has a full week of practice as the starter, and he has Teron Armstead in the lineup. And I will say again, there would not be a major drop-off in the production of the offense. You can't tell me, admit you're wrong when there has not been an apples-to-apples comparison yet.
Well, there'll never be an
apples-to-apples comparison. Bridgewater threw for 193 yards in a little more than a half.
Well, Bridgewater has never been explosive ever in his life. And in Minnesota, he had a running game, receivers, a tight end, an offensive line. He's never been in Minnesota or in New Orleans. He's always been a guy that can't even average 2 touchdowns a game, dude. No matter where he's been.
For this year, dude, we're going to agree to disagree on this. You want to put Tua, you want to give him the MVP, go for it. I am just telling you, to me, it's more about the offense and the wide receivers and the scheme than it is about the quarterback. I'm sorry. Well, and if you ask me I wrote last week, Tyreek Hill belongs in the NFL MVP conversation, and he is without question the MVP of this team and nobody else.
Right. And so his numbers are more productive than they were in Kansas City, but it's all on Mike McDaniel, not on the guy pulling the trigger.
Now you're going to say Tua is better than Patrick Mahomes? Are you serious?
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying that Tua is awesome. The part that you're leaving out is that Tua is freaking awesome, and you're not really coming to the facts that he is freaking awesome. And when you are awesome, you make things look easier than what they are. Okay. And yes, when they're wide open, it's because you're reading and reacting quickly. Doesn't mean that every other quarterback is going to see the same things at the same time.
You are more than welcome to have that opinion
at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
More than welcome to have that opinion.
You make it sound like every quarterback computes and reads the field the same way. Like if you were Justin Fields, you're going to have the same success as Tua reading and reacting when you're two different kinds of passers. You know, I don't understand.
No, that's fair, and he deserves credit for that, and he deserves credit for making quick decisions. Let's not pretend like he's making a bunch of really difficult throws. That's all I'm saying.
It's just that it's the Joe Montana thing. Well, no, it's Rice and Taylor. No, dude, he's really good. He puts it right where you need it all the freaking time. That
bottom line is they're winning and they're 6-3, and this is a very, very, very tiresome conversation. I'll be very honest with you. It's a very
I know, but you know, we got to turn you over. I mean, after all, look at it. He's had 6 games this year. He's 6-0.
The team is 6-0 when he's starting. The team is 6-0. Okay,
that's right. And without him, they lose. That's pretty elementary, my dear Watson.
Well, again, there are other factors. They didn't have Teron Armstead for a game and 3 quarters. They also caught a break. If we're going to be honest about it, you're not going to tell me they weren't lucky that they didn't call the DPI at the end of the game when it was a clear DPI, which was a game that they could have lost. And again, this just to show you how stupid the one-loss record is.
They knocked out Teddy Bridgewater.
Dude, you're not going to let me bro, let me talk, man. Let me talk. I'm going to make the point of how, if you're going to do everything based on one-loss record, how stupid it is. If they call the DPI and the Bears go in and score a touchdown and win the game 39-35, you're going to say Tua had a bad game because he was 0-1? No, he didn't have a bad game. He had a very good game. But that's why it's like Zach Wilson now is 4-1. It's not 6-0 like Tua, but it's 4-1. Are you going to tell me he's having a great year at quarterback? Or he's riding a really good defense?
But he's not the reason why the offense flows. Tua is.
No, the
Difference.
wide receiver, the speed of wide receiver and the scheme is the biggest reason the offense flows. And you want to say Tua, go for it. That's fine. We can agree to disagree.
This is the only quarterback in the NFL that doesn't get any credit for what goes on with the team. It's absolutely fantastic.
Who's not giving him credit? If I said he's having a good year.
You're giving it all to the receivers.
No, I am fighting back against you.
You're making it sound like any schmuck. You're making it sound like any schmuck can be a quarterback in this offense. That's what you're making it sound like.
I'm going to say that most quarterbacks in the NFL would have success in the offense the way it's on right now. Okay, a lot of them would not have it to the degree that Tua is having because he's having a very, very good season. It's a perfect marriage of scheme, assets, and your quarterback without question. But you're making it sound like it's all Tua, and this is where I fight back. It's not.
Well, yeah, of course I am, because for 25 years they can never find a guy that can stir the drink. So all of a sudden, it's not easy to find that guy. Alain, I'm not sure why you're overlooking this. That you make it sound like this team has not gone through 87 quarterbacks since Dan Marino. And just not anybody. You've had good offensive coordinators. You've had some good running games. You've had some good receivers at times. And it's never put together. Why? Because, my God, you're missing the guy that throws the effing ball every single time in the equation. You can have Ricky, but if you don't have the quarterback, it doesn't help. You can have the unicorn on the offensive line and the guy running what's the Clemson kid with the one knee? What's his name? Jay Ajayi. You can have him kicking ass. If you don't have the guy taking the snaps, it doesn't work out. I'm just like, huh?
Boise State, Jay, not Clemson.
Boise State, whatever. So, it's just like you can have all of that, but if you don't have that guy, then you got to do the Wildcat because you don't have that guy. So you make it sound.
Again, I don't agree with you. And again, we will not know. We will not know unless there's a situation where I said we have an apples to apples, and I hope it doesn't happen because the Dolphins are rolling right now. Okay, and I hope it doesn't happen, but that's the only way we would know. And by the way, if you're going to talk about like they've never had good, Chad Pennington was tied for second in the NFL MVP voting in 2008. Okay, just for the record.
What was that again?
Chad Pennington was tied for second in the NFL MVP voting in 2008. You're saying they've had shit quarterback after shit quarterback, and for the most part, you're right.
Dude, what was Chad Pennington? What was Chad Pennington?
He was second in the NFL MVP voting in 2008.
I know, but as a quarterback,
who benefited from a great offense around him, kind of like the quarterback this year, who is having a great season.
No,
very well might get MVP votes.
Yeah, but you're not comparing it's not even close to two quarterbacks. Chad Pennington barely had an arm, and all he did was that he didn't throw interceptions. I mean, it was he had pedestrian numbers, dude. It was like 18, 19 touchdowns. He had like 3, I think, interceptions. It was a different year. Yeah, it was all about running and their defense and all that. It wasn't really about the quarterback. This is a team now that the offense is the one bailing out the defense now. The philosophies have changed for the Dolphins.
It against Pembroke. It did the last 2 weeks.
20 plus years, it's been the defense bailing them out. Now it's an offense, and it's because that guy that takes the snap is, running a seamless offense. And I think you're taking it for granted what he does, bro. I really do. I think it's kind of an insult that you think anybody would have the same kind of success that Tua's having right now.
Again, that's not what I said. I said it's a QB friendly. Bro.
Yeah, but this is Tua. What are you showing me there?
This is Tua also.
Is that Tua? What is that?
Tua, look.
What's he got, a baseball hat? What the hell is that? Oh, wow. Where'd you get that one? Would they give you that one?
I'll never tell. What I am saying is that it's a QB-friendly system where right now they have the perfect QB to make it operate, and Tua is having a great, fabulous year. But if you want me to say it's all about Tua, to me, no, it's not all about Tua. It's about the wide receiver, that stupid speed they have outside, and the scheme that gets at least one receiver completely wide open on practically every play.
Let's see. Topher, by the way, sends in a super chat during our conversation. Says Tua has been top 2 in the NFL tight window throws these past 2 seasons. Now that he has wide receivers who get separation, people are crying.
Who's crying? Jesus Christ!
You're crying.
I'm crying. Yeah. Let's see
Crying.
my tears.
By the way, another fun fact for you.
Go ahead.
Tua has played in 6 games. He's won all 6 games.
The Dolphins have won all 6 games. And no, he's played in 7 games.
Look at it however you want. Justin Herbert has played 8 games and only won 5.
He plays for the Chargers and Tua plays for the Dolphins. Zach Wilson's 4-1. Again, seriously, spare me with that 1-loss record. I mean, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's not entirely part of it. And Tua, again, has played in 7 games. He's started and finished 6 games. He's played in 7 games. And he's been excellent. Big O. Okay?
That's right.
He's been excellent. The Dolphins are not Tua and then everybody else. If that's what you want me to say, that's not going to happen. Sorry.
It's Tua's team, bro.
Okay, fine.
It's just Tua's team.
Fine.
You don't want to admit it, but that's fine. All right, now, one more thing before I let you go. I find we now have elitist Dolphin fans. I don't know where they came from, but they act like they've had winning seasons for the last 10 years and that their teams and all this. And so now they were insulted by how bad the defense played. And yeah, they played bad. But Justin Fields, it's funny how we can laugh at Tyreek Hill making people look stupid all the time. But then we get pissed off if Lamar Jackson makes us look stupid, if Josh Allen makes us look stupid, or if Pat Mahomes or Justin Fields. And yesterday, you just got to like tip your hat to that kid, because I don't know if it was a coming of Jesus type of game, because that's his game right there. Those legs and then use the arm to complement it. I thought he was just amazing yesterday. And sometimes you just got to tip your hat, because they were killing Boyer on my DMs and timeline. And I even took pictures and I showed that guys were around him. They were there to make plays. It was like Rocky. He couldn't catch the chicken. And sometimes that's just what it is, bro. You got to give Justin Fields a little love yesterday. He was awesome yesterday. You agree or disagree on the criticism?
No, I'm actually speechless.
Is it criticism too much of the defense? Sometimes you got to credit the other guy, is what my point is.
No, it's like somebody once said, they get paid too. No, he was absolutely phenomenal. And it wasn't just the running. The touchdown pass to Mooney he threw was a beautiful throw. Because he did beat X, but it wasn't like he completely left him in the dust. And he put it where only Mooney can catch it. And the best throw of the game by any, maybe the best throw I saw in the entire NFL yesterday was the 4th down incompletion, the last play of the game, where he's rolling. You're gonna argue with me on that? Of course you're gonna argue with me, because it's not a Tua throw. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's the DM it's the super chat.
Sorry
for you. It's hilarious.
The 4th down pass that fell incomplete to clinch the win. Watch the replay of that pass. It's on the move, sidearm, and he just put it right past X, who actually had decent coverage. I mean, an absolute gem. And then his wide receiver flubs it.
He dropped it. He dropped
completely flubbed it. But I mean, well, no, he impressed the hell out of me. And like you said, it just tip your hat up to him. And rushing a guy like that, people are talking about not only 2 sacks, and one of them was after a scramble. Not easy to rush a quarterback like that, because you always have to be conscious of, if I go past him, this guy's going to, step up in the pocket and then scramble for 50 yards.
He was amazing. Got to give him love yesterday. It sucked, but because he drove that defense crazy, but he was a stud yesterday. Pat in Nashville sent in a super chat. First of all, thank you, Pat, for the super chat. And it says, Poupart wouldn't give Tua credit if he saved kids from a house fire. The house was built to code.
That's funny, but then again, people have a very, very, very difficult time with reading comprehension or oral comprehension. When I said, all I am doing is I've said, I don't know how many times I've said that Tua is having a great year. And and predicting that he will get MVP vote. All I'm doing is I'm saying it's not all Tua. That's all. But that's not good enough for a lot of Dolphin fans, and so be it.
Jesus. That was good. That was funny. That was a good one right there. All right, what are you working on?
It's exhausting, actually. It's exhausting, actually. Seriously.
By the way, the Mike McDaniel time management thing, he's a rookie coach.
That was rough.
But the last couple of weeks have been some moments there that he's got to check himself a little bit more there on time management. That I will say. I can nitpick a little bit there.
No, they got awfully casual there at the end of the first half. I think they got to like the 20 or something. They ran a play with Mostert, and all of a sudden it was like really slow to snap the ball. Then they got a 2-minute in the huddle penalty, and all of a sudden you've gone from like 50 seconds to 18, and it's like, whoa, what?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And early fourth, they were just giving up their timeouts like nothing. And I just and then last week also there was some mismanagement of the clock too at the same time. He's got to get a little bit better, with that overall. But they're really, I mean, I personally for me, dude, I tell Dolphin Nation, you're 6-3, bro. You haven't been 6-3 in forever. Shut the hell up. Enjoy this ride. You got two very winnable games over the next 2 weeks. And then that 4-game stretch, you mentioned it earlier, and I told you not yet. But if he wins 3 of those 4 games, the Bills,
if the Dolphins
Packers, win. The Dolphins and Tua. If they win 3 of those 4, Packers, Bills, who the hell else is there in those 4?
49ers, Chargers.
49ers, Chargers. He wins 3 of those 4. He's in the MVP conversation. Yay or nay?
No, I've already told you he's going to get MVP votes. Like, again, to me, Tyreek Hill's the team MVP, but I know how it works, and it's all about the quarterback. So, yeah,
yep.
The Dolphins, go 3-1 in that stretch. Yes, he will get MVP votes.
All right, Frank Reich fired by the Colts. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know if it's entirely all his fault. I know Ballard used to be one of the best GMs. I mean, I would marvel every year at the amount of talent he would bring in, and that's gone south.
You know what this tells me, right?
Sorry?
He's the guy that wanted the last 2 quarterbacks. And they got his quarterbacks, and one choked last year, and then this has been a failure. And they said, dude, you're out of here. That's what I think. That's because Ballard's not fired, right? Did they fire the GM? They didn't fire the GM, right?
I doubt it.
Right. So if they're keeping the coach, that tells me that maybe they're pissed off that the quarterback thing has not gone well with him.
Yeah, but in all fairness, if you remember, it wasn't that long ago the Colts had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and now it's shit.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to decipher.
Oh no, I hear you. I hear you. No, that makes sense. And I mean, it's a hot mess. I mean, literally, it's things are bad when you're benching Matt Ryan for Sam Erlinger. I mean, no offense to Sam Erlinger, but
yeah. No, you're right about that. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and catch his work there at alldolphins.com. Remember, you must be the only way you're an official Dolphins fan is by bookmarking alldolphins.com. Alain, as always, appreciate you. Switch that Montreal cap to a Tua cap the next time around.
That's funny. All right, have a good one.
You got it. That is Alain Poupart and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big